What's today?
Wednesday.
Today's my day.
That was one hell of a series premiere for American Gods.
It was awesome.
Woo!
So awesome.
And you're probably wondering what the hell is happening, like what is going on in this show? Which is a great question, and we will break that down for you in just a minute.
Be sure to subscribe, guys. We're going to be breaking down every episode of this show, so stay with us. So the intro sequence, before just the intro credit sequence, is getting you into what this show is going to be about. Mm-hmm. It combines technology, or I guess modern things that are worshipped, with older religious idolization. For example, the menorah with all of the old
tech
computer
menorah.
Connections.
Yeah.
It's a tech menorah.
It's a tech menorah.
Yeah. We were discussing some of these and talking about what they could mean. And Chastity had a good theory. I had a good theory. Chastity, what did you think?
I think that it's all just kind of a metaphor for how the old gods are being phased out and being replaced by new gods. So like we used to worship with a menorah, and now it's technology. So it's just like phasing out the old, in with the new.
I thought some of the organization of what they were paired with might be the same thing for that god. Like Buddha, it's like calm, and it was mixed with pharmaceuticals, which also can make you calm. I don't know, maybe that's a little bit of a stretch. There was the Shroud of Turin thing with a circuit board design on it that I thought was pretty cool. And then the whole thing like coalesces into an eagle. Everything is stacked up to this American eagle, but the thing looks like an eagle standard. And in ancient Rome, each legion had an eagle standard that was kind of holy for that Roman legion. I'm not really sure what any of this signifies, because it's not mentioned in the book ever. Like, there's no referential information for this, but you just can kind of interpret what you think it means. So guys, we're super interested. Tell us in the comments if you guys have any theories about what the intro credits could mean each sequence.
Okay, so we start with a Viking sequence, which is called Coming to America. So for book references, there's sprinkled out scenes here and there, kind of giving a backstory for the old gods. And that's what the Coming to America is, like how these gods got to America.
So Mr. Ibis is writing in the book. We know he's Mr. Ibis from the website. He never is identified in the show as of yet. But what did you think of that? I mean,
I thought it was interesting, and I know that Neil Gaiman was inspired by the Vikings himself. Like, he was inspired when he was about to write American Gods. He was inspired by Leif Erikson.
Who knows?
Anyway, yeah. So that was definitely one of the inspirations for the novel before he started writing it. So that's kind of why I feel this was the sequence that he started with for the show.
Right. There was a lot of cool imagery in this that was very like 300-esque, like way over the top.
Super bloody, just blood.
Obviously a tall tale. We're obviously not seeing the actual events. We're seeing the, fictionalized like version of all of this stuff. So what happened? Let's break this thing down.
So the important thing to take away from the Viking sequence is the god that they're praying to. So they brought this god to America because they were making sacrifices for him. Like, they started off by stabbing out their own eyes. And so that was kind of the first clue, because Odin has one eye, and he sacrificed one eye to gain cosmic wisdom. So there's clue number one, that it's for Odin.
Bing!
And they also chiseled that wood figure. Looks like Odin, or it looks like, I don't know.
It could have been my grandfather. What? Let's not use that one.
It's a wood figure.
2, fine. Yeah. I'll give you 2. Bing, 2.
Number 3, they call him the Allfather, who is Odin. Odin is the Allfather, or the leader of all the Nordic gods. That is his nickname. And they also call him a god of war, not the video game, but Odin is a god of war, so it's Odin. They're praying to Odin.
I really prefer computers as religion, because if you had to be like, all right, well, now we're gonna die of starvation unless we get this wind back. I really enjoy, though, that they hadn't eaten for days. So they're coming from, like, Iceland, something Nordic. They haven't eaten for days. They find land. They get there. Then they're like, oh, we can't cross off the sand or we get filled with 1,000 arrows. So we have to...
That was rough. That guy just... Arrows all over the place.
So many arrows. That's what I'm saying. It was
so many
300.
Arrows.
We will blot out the sky without it. Oh my gosh, they had such good aim. I think only one arrow missed.
Yeah.
Even a salad would do.
And And then they split into teams, and then they try to like kill each other. So that's the next clue. And also, if you want to learn more about Odin, check out our video because we broke down who the old gods are. So check that video out.
She broke it down. It's a darn good video.
Thanks.
Love you, puppy.
I love you too, baby.
Okay, so let's talk about Shadow's dreams. He's having some really weird, cryptic dreams. The name of the episode is The Bone Orchard, so I have to assume that's the name of this place he keeps going to in his dreams because he's walking around a bunch of skulls.
An orchard
Yeah.
with bones in it.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Dead trees, tree hands touching his face.
I looked up God, trees,
Yeah.
and there was some blood coursing through the tree. So there is a tree that exists. In real life, guys, there's a tree called like the dragon's blood tree that bleeds when you cut it. Like instead of sap, it looks like
Interesting.
red blood. I don't think it grabs people though. So I also looked up, focusing on the Odin thing, a god tree, a Nordic tree. There's a tree called Yggdrasil that Odin sacrificed himself on to himself. And you noticed something.
Yeah, there's a noose in the first dream, so that's probably a nod to Odin.
The other name for the tree is the hanging tree.
Ah, there you go. And also, that buffalo with the flaming eyes. Who is that? What's up with that guy?
That buffalo.
I know, that's probably the most striking visual in these dreams. Like, this buffalo with flames for eyes. And he's not
Shooting out of his
completely
eyes.
silent. He says a word. Or it seems like he's communicating to Shadow. He goes, believe.
And it's Mr. Wednesday's
It sounds
voice.
like Mr. Wednesday's voice. Sounds
Very
exactly
cool.
like it.
Very
so,
cool.
yeah, very cool.
So-
what could it mean?
Is Mr. Wednesday implanting himself into Shadow's dreams? Is Shadow just having crazy dreams and incorporating stuff that he's heard? He doesn't see a buffalo anywhere else. What could be happening?
Right. And as far as mythology goes, I think this dips into Native American mythology. So I can't say too much because it is revealed at the end of the book what the whole meaning is. And actually in the book, should I earmuffs for this?
Yeah, guys, put your earmuffs on if you have not read the book. If you
Yeah.
haven't read the books,
It's not a
earmuffs now.
spoiler, but in the book, the buffalo is half man. So it's a buffalo man. So
Yeah.
there's a difference there.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a slight difference. Less hair, hands.
Yeah.
It's just his head.
Sir? Sir.
Okay, let's talk about that Bilquis sequence.
Yes, let's.
Woo! Did that just happen? Yes, it did.
How many times did you watch it? I only
Just
watched it
once.
once.
That's all I needed to see. I only needed to see it once. I mean, you can't unsee it, so technically I'm never not seeing it. But yes,
Aw,
it did
man.
happen. How did she do it? Who knows? But yes, she devoured a man through her nether regions, and he just got pulled right in there.
Guys, be careful who you tender with. And girls, you never really know.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know, and that's the lesson to learn here.
We can wait and do it then.
You will. Like that for me, would you?
Another earmuff sequence for people that haven't read the book, but she was a prostitute in the book, so that's a major change that they've made here. So you feel a little less bad for her victims because of it, but I
Right.
don't know.
I felt like this sequence was.
The tone felt different.
I mean, not different from the. It did feel different from the book, but you feel like gross the whole time. And what's very weird is in the book you don't feel as gross, and it might be the separation of words, but watching it.
Or visuals.
Yeah, visuals.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is you know, is red and uncomfortable, and there's uncomfortable silences, and they both did such a great job of bringing out this awkwardness, and it comes out, and then you're just like, oh no, it's way too weird, and then at the end she just rolls over and is so comfy, and you're just like, ugh.
So you can tell by the way that she's getting him to worship her that she is a god. She's an old god, the goddess of love. And so there's not much that they tell us about her in the book, but she doesn't have a big role, but I think they've expanded her role for the show. So we will be seeing a lot more of her. And also, fun fact, the guy that she devours in that first scene is Joel Murray, Bill Murray's brother.
I personally think it would have been better if it was Bill Murray.
Yeah.
It would have been an epic scene.
Yep.
They could have let him improv. It would have been great.
And the way that they pulled it off, I heard from Vanity Fair, is that they had a trap door, so they just kind of pulled him underneath.
Can you imagine how awkward that scene was to film? She's just writhing and he's getting pulled by the ankles through a door. Like, wow.
Woo!
Anyway, go back and watch it.
Or
Because we're
don't.
not using it as B-roll without censorship.
Yeah, I don't think we even can. We can't even pixelate that. It's too much.
We're not just going to kill you, Shadow. We're going to delete you. One click and you are overwritten.
So they've expanded so much from the book to the TV show, but if you haven't read the book, you're not going to notice those changes, so it doesn't matter. But I just want to tell you that Technical Boy, this situation is so much more technical than it would have been in the book. I want one of those face-attacking VR units because that would be hilarious to just be like...
To trap someone in VR.
Yeah. All of a sudden my grandma's playing Rick and Morty VR. She doesn't know how she got in there. That'd be amazing.
That's such a cruel goof. But yeah, they updated the VR part to make it more modern.
Yeah.
Like, because originally they just pick him up and beat him up in a limo.
Right.
And now he's been trapped in VR. And he also looks completely different, so...
Yeah, he was a chubby little acne-faced kid.
Yep.
Now he's got like some kind of weird lollipop guild hair and
And he vapes.
He vapes. He did smoke
Yes.
cigarettes previously. Now he
Synthetic toad skins.
synthetic toad skins. It's very like Caterpillar Alice in Wonderland feeling going on, which is cool. So let's talk about those dudes that beat him up.
Okay.
You made a relation that I when I watched it, like that portion again, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so right.
Right. I was like, yeah, he gets beat up by a bunch of droogs. If you've
Yeah.
seen A Clockwork Orange, they look exactly like the droogs, just a little more techie and without faces.
Yeah, less mascara on one of their eyes, but they're totally droogs.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
They just beat on him, poor guy.
So then something happens.
Mm-hmm.
He gets strung up in a tree. Not Yggdrasil. If I'm pronouncing Yggdrasil wrong, by the way, I'm sorry, but you shut up. He gets strung up, and then all of a sudden, blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Who do you think did that, though?
We'll find out in the next episode, but I have a feeling I know who did it.
I feel like I know, too.
Don't want to say, but yes, he definitely gets rescued.
On to Mad Sweeney.
Yes, and his coin.
Mad Sweeney's coin.
So-
He had so many coins.
He did. He just kept pulling him out of everywhere, just like his mouth, behind his ear. It was just ridiculous, just dropping him into cups. But like, these are special coins, magical coins.
I really liked that he was just like dumping them out of his sleeve, and the Shadow, has been doing coin tricks. You see the prison sequence when he's, spinning coins around his fingers and stuff.
He spent a lot of time in jail learning how to do coin tricks.
He stands up and backs away to watch him like, what are you doing? I like his slightly Irish accent, but it seems like he's been away from the old country for so long. It's just a really great sequence, and the insanity and ferocity in which he fights is really rad. I think they cast this really well.
Good fight sequence.
Can you feel the joy rising in your veins like the sap in the springtime?
Shadow has one of these coins, and he wakes up after that fight in the back of Mr. Wednesday's car, and he's like, what is this? And he's like playing with it, and then he flips it onto Laura's grave, and then the coin just kind of sinks itself into the grave. What could it mean? Well, if you've seen the trailers, you know what it means.
You do know what
Yeah.
it means. You read the book, you
It's
know
a
what it means.
magical coin.
What's a god? They're real if you believe in them. So who are you? You wouldn't believe in me if I told you.
Okay, so what's next for episode 2?
So you see a couple of things that, you've seen in the trailers previously. You see that Laura comes back and talks to Shadow, calls him Puppy, by the way, not Poppy. I know a lot of people
It's
have
Puppy.
been thinking that she's like calling him the Spanish version of Dad, and that is not what she is doing.
No, it's Puppy.
In the book, she calls him Puppy. The backstory on that is very cute, actually, and I hope that they reveal it, but if not, we'll talk about it at some point. So the other thing is you hear Mr. Wednesday say, "We're going to get my hammer."
And then they show Chernobog.
Yeah, they show Chernobog holding a hammer. So I don't know if he's saying the hammer is his or if Chernobog is the hammer.
I think Chernobog is the hammer.
Yeah.
Is what he means by that.
We'll see.
We'll see. It'll be fun.
Maybe they changed things up because, yeah, there's no mention of that in the book. But guys, we're going to keep covering this. We're going to keep breaking it down. Make sure you guys subscribe, like. Chastity, go watch her video on Who Are the Old Gods. She's going to do another one about the new gods.
I am?
I hope.
Okay.
I really liked your other video.
Thanks.
Guys, let us know in the comments if you guys want to see Chastity do a video about the new gods. Until then, keep watching. We love you.